Hello Trojans, today is Monday, April 10th, 2017. I'm Rebecca Miller and you're watching Trojan TV. First up, we have an AP interview.
Trojan TV took some time to interview Paul Gutierrez, also known as Mr. G. He's a South Houston High School AP Biology and AP Environmental Science teacher that has been working here at Soho for 19 years. An interesting fact, he hasn't worked at any other school other than Soho. Outside of school, he owns a music store called Mr. G's Guitars, where he enjoys playing guitar and teaching eager musicians.
Well, AP, as you know, stands for Advanced Placement, so it is actually an upper level course. It's a college level course, but it's taught at the high school level. And so at the end of the year, you would actually take a test that the rest of the nation takes. Everybody takes exactly the same test for these AP classes. And so colleges all over the country recognize those tests. And so you would receive college credit for taking these. And so it's not necessarily just a time saver. I mean, I can tell you that I talk to the graduates quite frequently, and they always come back and tell me that, for instance, we have a student who graduated a couple of years ago, who is now at Cornell University, and she walked in with 24 credits from AP tests that she had passed that Cornell University gave her credit for, and so that saved her approximately $31,500. So it's the idea that you can actually walk in with a certain number of credits and maybe take an entire year off of your college, and the savings as well. But even if you don't actually get a qualifying score for these tests, it's just the idea of exposing yourself to the rigor of the classes, so that when you take the classes in college, you're not actually seeing that information for the first time. And so I've had several people that struggled in my class because it's extremely difficult, but then they took the class again in college and they did so much better because they understood the material. And so it's just exposing yourself to the rigor so that when you get to college, you're better prepared to succeed. Well, I wasn't always an AP teacher, and we didn't always have a strong AP program here, but I identify with those students because those students are basically me when I was in high school. And so I recognize the fact that there was a need for this particular group of students that wasn't being served here because we didn't have a strong AP program. So I know that they were getting to college and they were struggling because no one had ever prepared them for the rigor of college. And so that's actually why I prefer to teach AP, just because of the fact that I enjoy the content. I'm a life scientist by trade. That is my major. So I enjoy the content, and I enjoy teaching it at that level. And I enjoy the fact that students, when they leave here, they get to college much better prepared. But I do actually keep in touch with my students, and I always actually post that at the end of the year. I take a picture of an empty classroom, and I usually post that I hope that my students know that my door is always open to them even after they leave here, because my job is not done when they leave. And I've had people from as far back as 2005 saying that, they tell me, I remember when you told us that when we graduated in 2005, and we still keep in touch. And so that's important to me. But there's another example right behind me, actually. This mural that you're seeing was actually painted by a student that I had who graduated in 2014. And she actually spent an entire summer doing this for me, just as a favor to me. It wasn't necessarily anything, but as a favor to me. And the pyramid behind me, there's some hieroglyphics there, and it's actually not gibberish. She encoded a message in there. I'm not going to tell you what it says because it was just some, basically a thank you but it's in there. And so she's currently now at UT. She's going to be entering her third year soon, but I consider her to be one of the better students that I've ever had in terms of the potential that she shows and I look forward to seeing how her life is going to actually play out, because I know that she's going to do great things, and that's actually what I like the most, is to be able to follow these students through college into their careers and see how it is that they're using their gifts and what we were able to impart on them, and to make a positive difference in the world. So that's really it right there. Even if you've never actually taken an AP class before, but you're serious about going to a 4-year university and getting a bachelor's degree, I would make the effort. It's going to be rigorous and it's going to be extremely challenging, but you will be much better prepared in the long run when you get to college. So if you're serious about going through a 4-year university and getting a bachelor's degree, you want the exposure. You want to actually take these courses. I've had several people that struggled, like I said, in my classes, but then when they went to college, they spent a year there, they came back and shook my hand and said, "Thank you, sir, you were exactly right. I'm much better prepared than I was before." So if you're serious about it, you want the rigor. You want to make sure that you expose yourself to not just the rigor, but also taking a very, very challenging exam at the end of the year to see how college is going to be how it's going to actually play out for you. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Next, we have Senior Field Day highlight video.
It will be on Thursday, April 27, starting at 10:15 a.m. during fourth period during school. It will be at the boys' gym and new gym. You will need complete physical form. It will cost $20. Pick up physical forms from M101, the training room, or from your coaches. Prepayment and forms are to be returned into M101.
That's it for today, Trojans, and we'll see you tomorrow.